MoMIM, Core Diff, there's a whole bunch of other models, computer vision models, robotics models, and even, of course, some really, really terrific open source language models. These models are groundbreaking. However, it's hard for companies to use. How would you use it? How would you bring it into your company and integrate it into your workflow? How would you package it up and run it? Remember, earlier I just said that inference is an extraordinary computation problem. How would you do the optimization for each and every one of these models and put together the computing stack necessary to run that supercomputer so that you can run these models in your company? And so we have a great idea. We're going to invent a new way for you to receive and operate software. This software comes basically in a digital box. We call it a container. And we call it the NVIDIA Inference Microservice, a NIM. And let me explain to you what it is. A NIM, it's a pre-trained model, so it's pretty clever. And it is packaged and optimized to run across NVIDIA's installed base, which is very, very large. What's inside it is incredible. You have all these pre-trained, state-of-the-art open source models. They could be open source, they could be from one of our partners, it could be created by us, like NVIDIA MoMIM. It is packaged up with all of its dependencies. So CUDA, the right version, cuDNN, the right version, TensorRT, LLM, distributing across the multiple GPUs, Triton Inference Server, all completely packaged together. It's optimized depending on whether you have a single GPU, multi-GPU, or multi-node of GPUs. It's optimized for that. And it's connected up with APIs that are simple to use. Now think about what an AI API is. An AI API is an interface that you just talk to. And so this is a piece of software in the future that has a really simple API, and that API is called human. And these packages, incredible bodies of software, will be optimized and packaged, and we'll put it on a website. And you can download it, you could take it with you, you could run it in any cloud, you could run it in your own data center, you can run in workstations if it fit, and all you have to do is come to ai.nvidia.com. We call it NVIDIA Inference Microservice, but inside the company, we all call it NIMS. Okay? Just imagine, someday there's going to be one of these chatbots, and these chatbots is going to just be in a NIM, and you'll assemble a whole bunch of chatbots, and that's the way software is going to be built someday. How do we build software in the future? It is unlikely that you'll write it from scratch or write a whole bunch of Python code or anything like that. It is very likely that you assemble a team of AIs. There's probably going to be a super AI that you use that takes the mission that you give it and breaks it down into an execution plan. Some of that execution plan could be handed off to another NIM. That NIM would maybe understand SAP. The language of SAP is ABAP. It might understand ServiceNow. And it go retrieve some information from their platforms. It might then hand that result to another NIM who goes off and does some calculation on it. Maybe it's an optimization software, a combinatorial optimization algorithm. Maybe it's some basic calculator. Maybe it's pandas to do some numerical analysis on it. And then it comes back with its answer, and it gets combined with everybody else's, and because it's been presented with this is what the right answer should look like, it knows what right answers to produce, and it presents it to you. We can get a report every single day at top of the hour that has something to do with a build plan or some forecast or some customer alert or some bugs database or whatever it happens to be, and we could assemble it using all these NIMs. And because these NIMs have been packaged up and ready to work on your systems, so long as you have NVIDIA GPUs in your data center or in the cloud, this NIMs will work together as a team and do amazing things. And so we decided, this is such a great idea, we're going to go do that. And so NVIDIA has NIMs running all over the company. We have chatbots being created all over the place, and one of the most important chatbots of course, is a chip designer chatbot. You might not be surprised, we care a lot about building chips. And so we want to build chatbots, AI co-pilots, that are co-designers with our engineers. And so this is the way we did it. So we got ourselves a Llama 2. This is a 70B, and it's packaged up in a NIM. And we asked it, what is a CTL? Well, it turns out CTL is an internal program, and it has an internal proprietary language, but it thought the CTL was a combinatorial timing logic, and so it describes conventional knowledge of CTL, but that's not very useful to us. And so we gave it a whole bunch of new examples. This is no different than onboarding an employee. We say, thanks for that answer, it's completely wrong. And then we present to them, this is what a CTL is, okay? And so this is what a CTL is at NVIDIA. And the CTL, as you can see, CTL stands for Compute Trace Library, which makes sense. We were tracing compute cycles all the time, and it wrote the program. Isn't that amazing? And so the productivity of our chip designers can go up. This is what you can do with a NIM. First thing you can do with it is customize it. We have a service called NeMo Microservice that helps you curate the data, preparing the data so that you could onboard this AI. You fine-tune them, and then you guardrail it. You can even evaluate the answer, evaluate its performance against other examples. And so that's called the NeMo Microservice. Now, the thing that's emerging here is this. There are three elements, three pillars of what we're doing. The first pillar is, of course, inventing the technology for AI models and running AI models and packaging it up for you. The second is to create tools to help you modify it. First is having the AI technology. Second is to help you modify it. And third is infrastructure for you to fine-tune it, and if you like, deploy it. You could deploy it on our infrastructure called DGX Cloud, or you can deploy it on-prem. You could deploy it anywhere you like. Once you develop it, it's yours to take anywhere. And so we are effectively an AI foundry. We will do for you and the industry on AI what TSMC does for us building chips. And so we go to TSMC with our big ideas. They manufacture it, and we take it with us. And so exactly the same thing here. AI foundry, and the three pillars are the NIMs, NeMo Microservice, and DGX Cloud. The other thing that you could teach the NIM to do is to understand your proprietary information. Remember, inside our company, the vast majority of our data is not in the cloud. It's inside our company. It's been sitting there, being used all the time, and gosh, it's basically NVIDIA's intelligence. We would like to take that data, learn its meaning, like we learned the meaning of almost anything else that we just talked about. Learn its meaning, and then re-index that knowledge into a new type of database called a vector database. And so you essentially take structured data or unstructured data, you learn its meaning, you encode its meaning, so now this becomes an AI database, and that AI database, in the future, once you create it, you can talk to it. And so let me give you an example of what you could do. So suppose you've got a whole bunch of multi-modality data, and one good example of that is PDF. So you take the PDF, you take all of your PDFs, all your favorite, the stuff that is proprietary to you, critical to your company. You can encode it, just as we encoded pixels of a cat, and it becomes the word cat. We can encode all of your PDF, and it turns into vectors that are now stored inside your vector database. It becomes the proprietary information of your company. And once you have that proprietary information, you can chat to it. It's a smart database. And so you just chat with data. And how much more enjoyable is that? For our software team, they just chat with the bugs database. How many bugs was there last night? Are we making any progress? And then after you're done talking to this bugs database, you need therapy. And so we have another chatbot for you. You can do it. Okay, so we call this Nemo Retriever, and the reason for that is because ultimately its job is to go retrieve information as quickly as possible. And you just talk to it. Hey, retrieve me this information. It goes, oh, it brings it back to you. And do you mean this? You go, yeah, perfect, okay? And so we call it the Nemo Retriever. Well, the Nemo service helps you create all these things, and we have all these different NIMs. We even have NIMs of digital humans.
I'm Rachel, your AI care manager.
Okay, so it's a really short clip, but there were so many videos to show you, I guess so many other demos to show you, and so I had to cut this one short. But this is Diana. She is a digital human NIM, and you just talk to her, and she's connected, in this case, to Hippocratic AI's large language model for healthcare, and it's truly amazing. She is just super smart about healthcare things, you know? And so after you're done, after my Dwight, my VP of software engineering, talks to the chatbot for bugs database, then you come over here and talk to Diane. And so Diane is completely animated with AI, and she's a digital human. There's so many companies that would like to build, they're sitting on gold mines. The enterprise IT industry is sitting on a gold mine. It's a gold mine because they have so much understanding of the way work is done. They have all these amazing tools that have been created over the years, and they're sitting on a lot of data. If they could take that gold mine and turn them into co-pilots, these co-pilots could help us do things. And so just about every IT franchise, IT platform in the world that has valuable tools that people use is sitting on a gold mine for co-pilots. And they would like to build their own co-pilots and their own chatbots. And so we're announcing that NVIDIA AI Foundry is working with some of the world's great companies. SAP generates 87% of the world's global commerce. Basically, the world runs on SAP. We run on SAP. NVIDIA and SAP are building SAP Joule co-pilots using NVIDIA NeMo and DGX Cloud. ServiceNow, they run 85% of the world's Fortune 500 companies run their people and customer service operations on ServiceNow. And they're using NVIDIA AI Foundry to build ServiceNow Assist virtual assistants. Cohesity backs up the world's data. They're sitting on a gold mine of data. Hundreds of exabytes of data, over 10,000 companies. NVIDIA AI Foundry is working with them, helping them build their Gaia generative AI agent. Snowflake is a company that stores the world's digital warehouse in the cloud and serves over 3 billion queries a day for 10,000 enterprise customers. Snowflake is working with NVIDIA AI Foundry to build co-pilots with NVIDIA NeMo and NIMs. NetApp, nearly half of the files in the world are stored on-prem on NetApp. NVIDIA AI Foundry is helping them build chatbots and co-pilots like those vector databases and retrievers with NVIDIA NeMo and NIMs. And we have a great partnership with Dell. Everybody who is building these chatbots and generative AI, when you're ready to run it, you're going to need an AI factory. And nobody is better at building end-to-end systems of very large scale for the enterprise than Dell. And so anybody, any company, every company will need to build AI factories. And it turns out that Michael is here. He's happy to take your order. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Dell.